Go.
Hello, everybody. I'm Jade from Jade Inspiration, Right on Baby podcast, and I'm here with the amazing and miraculous Mike Sutton of Be Build Have podcast. How you doing, Mike?
Hey, Jade. Awesome. So this is a little bit of a reversal because you introduced our show that's recorded on my equipment. So this is fun. We'll see how this works.
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you for letting me air this one on my podcast too.
Oh
That'd
yeah,
be
it's
great.
fun.
Yeah.
The more
So
people
that's
that
all.
can hear it, the better, right? All
Absolutely.
we're trying to do is get this message out to as many people as we can. And so if we
As
can
many. Yes.
get it on all these feeds, then we're set.
Yeah, baby.
So did we ever decide what we're talking about today?
Yes, today we decided to talk about our biggest challenges in building our business.
Okay. So it's probably more than a 10-minute conversation. Do you want to go first or do you want to start with mine?
Yeah, well, you know what? Let's start with yours because I mean, we could just pick out one challenge and I think everybody can relate to each one of our challenges. So, how about one challenge today? What's
Okay.
your biggest
Well,
challenge?
so I've got kind of three going on in the background. My biggest challenge ultimately is that I'm working on my own mindset while I'm trying to build this business. I still have a lot of things that I'm learning about myself, understanding about how I've learned to relate to people that doesn't maybe necessarily serve me in building a business and unraveling that. And a lot of it has to do with like personal anger, which I'm really getting to the core of. And then the other piece, so these two things probably are related, is trying to figure out how to connect with more people on this message. Because as I've gone through this, as I've been going through it, it's been really valuable to me professionally, personally, in all these different areas. And I've gained a lot of insight. And I just want to connect with people on this message. And so I do the podcast and I do social media and I try and put myself out there. And sometimes it feels like nobody's listening. Um, right? So
Well, no,
these probably
I
related.
definitely can relate. I can
Yeah.
definitely relate. Well, let me ask you really quickly. Just could you expound on this thing about how you feel about yourself? I think you meant you described it as self anger.
Yeah, and it's probably the thing that I talk about on my show more than anything because I think it really is what this all comes down to. If we feel good and happy about ourselves, then we'll feel comfortable and confident out in the world talking to people and we'll connect with people because that's what we do. We're made to connect with other people. And so I kind of grew up with a sense that what I wanted wasn't important, that I was here for other people's enjoyment and to make their lives valuable. So it really gave me kind of a distorted sense of connecting with people and engaging with people and exchanging value with people. So I'm very reluctant to ask for a sale, and my natural tendency is to be very unreceptive to receiving back. I just want to give and give and give. I'm a people pleaser, and I think at the core of it really is just this. It ends up showing up like anger. Like, for a long time, I thought it was depression. So I lived, and again talk about this on my podcast all the time. Lived probably 30 years of my life just feeling depressed and anxious and trying to build businesses, which totally sucks trying to build a business while you're depressed. But that's why I do this show because I'm moving away from that and it's a process and I've gotten far enough away from it that I can start to do these kinds of things, but I have a little further to go. I think this is still what's at the center for me of this idea that I feel like I want to connect with people more. I want to be the kind of person that everybody wants to connect with.
And you absolutely are, Mike. I mean, to have this podcast, to come to this point in your life, you have definitely surpassed a lot of your blocks. I mean, how you feel about yourself definitely is going to determine how we put ourselves out into the world. And what you've done here, you created an amazing podcast. You're now on video and you're interviewing a lot of amazing, amazing people that, wow, you really have come almost full circle. And the journey will never stop. We're always
Yeah.
on a journey, aren't we? So I can definitely relate to where you're coming from because my biggest block in building my business as a life coach and inspirational speaker and podcaster and all the other healing modalities that I offer, it's really about putting ourselves out to connect with people. So when you say connect with people, that's the most important thing, because we want to help others. We want to be a bright light for people to say, hey, whatever you've gone through, you can get to where you want to go. And then we just plant seeds. We plant seeds of growth and how we've done it. And if it resonates with them, they can utilize the wisdom that comes out from all the podcasts in the world, right? So for me, social media and doing social media such as Facebook and Twitter and creating videos on YouTube, for me, putting myself out there, and I'm putting myself out there right now in video, and I'm going, wow, that's kind of out of my comfort zone, right? So the more we get out of our comfort zone, the more and more we'll get used to it, the more and more confidence we build. So what I learned is if something is going to make me uncomfortable, then I better do it because it's going to help me grow, right? So putting myself out there and not being comfortable with that because I'm still kind of, wow, I'm just Jade. I've been through these issues and I've succeeded from them, but am I really worthy of giving the wisdom to other people? And I think that's a block for a lot of business and entrepreneurs, to where you are absolutely worthy and you do have a lot to offer. So it's just moving forward and offering it, kind of like what we're doing today. So for me, doing social media, putting myself out there, it's like, who's going to want to hear this, right? You do the tweets and, you do the Facebook and stuff like that. So I think that's probably what's helped me get out of my comfort zone more, but it's also something I'm still kind of going, I'm a little nervous about, about putting my heart out there, because it almost builds a sense of vulnerability, but that's the way we connect. That's how we connect, by
Yeah.
putting our hearts out there.
And it
So
really is a process. The more you put yourself out, the more feedback you have to respond to, and the more you feel like you're risking yourself. So it takes a lot more courage,
mhm.
and it's just like this big feedback loop. A year ago, I never would have put this out to the world, but now I have the strength and courage to be able to do that. But it exposes new things. So is it performing the way I want? Am I getting as much response as I want? Am I getting the downloads that I want?
Right.
Like all those things are new things that now I have to face that I never had to face before, and exposing more mindset issues that I need to deal with.
Mhm. Yeah, and I think for me also, and I'm sure it's true for you, is that, the more we're able to help others, we help ourselves too. The more we help others heal, the more we help others be inspired, the more inspired we could become too. So the more you help others, the more you help yourself. And I think it's a wonderful cycle of life,
Yeah.
because what you give out to the world, you get back, and it's very gratifying.
And I think that's the thing that's helping me the most right now, is because I'm taking steps to reach out to people, and I've got people reaching out to me, and I'm looking for opportunities to continue to help people. As a business, I still don't know exactly what this is going to look like, but I know that I want it to be built on helping people. So I'm doing that now today. So I'll go on forums to talk to people who are struggling with depression and anxiety. I'll put myself out on Facebook to offer help to people trying to build their business and work on social media who have sales and marketing questions. I get emails from people from listening to this podcast, and I'll interact with those people. And that really is the thing that I enjoy doing that keeps me doing this. It's a really
Well,
it's a
yeah.
really cool like feedback loop. Plus it helps me get better at the message and know how to talk to people about it.
No, exactly. Exactly. I mean, and we're always evolving. And because we're always evolving and growing, we get better and better at what we're doing and how we are, articulate, and how we, express ourselves, and how we can really empathize with other people and what their struggles might be. So I think it really is a wonderful forum that you put together here, on your podcast, Be Build Have, because a lot of serial entrepreneurs really need to have that connection with someone like you, someone like me, who are on a journey of struggle and triumphs.
And not having that connection with your audience, with your market, with your customers, with your peers, a lot of times feels like a marketing or a sales question or a social media problem or a product problem, but it really comes down to if you are the kind of person that everybody wants to do business with, then they're going to come do business with you. If you put yourself out there, if you show them that, then people are going to be drawn into that. It's how we relate to each other, that you can't get around that. So,
Right.
that's my encouragement to everybody on my show is don't be afraid to be that person. That's the whole message of Be Build Have. Be that person. Be the person who builds your business and has the success that you want. Be that person that all your clients want to come and do business with. Like really be that person and everything else will fall into place. Then it's not about, well, how do I do this and how do I get this right? Like you just are the person who does those things right. It's within every one of us.
Right. Yes, exactly. And you make a very good point. It's living your authentic self, finding out who you really are again. Because sometimes through life, we just try to live in this social, environment, and we put on masks in order to be accepted. So we like you alluded to earlier, we forget about ourselves. We forget who we are because we're just too busy trying to be what everybody wants us to be. So when you flow with your life purpose, when you flow with understanding self, then you're able to really offer authenticity, and you'll flow better and you'll feel better and you'll be more excited about offering your light to other people.
I love it. So we started with ourselves and turned it to helping others, which is probably exactly what we need to do. We're here now at 11 and a half minutes. So why don't you sign us
All
off,
right.
Jade?
That's great. I had a great time, Mike. Thank you so much. And I want to make sure that you never forget that you are absolutely fabulous.